Okay. The big elephant in the room, the rich piano, racist tirade, remarks, etc. The reason that I wasn't going to address this is because I didn't think it was necessary for me to address it. And I really didn't want to even dignify the topic by wasting the time to make a video on it. Because anybody that knows me, Gorilla with a Cause, what we do, and everything, the thought that's behind it, or really anybody that just knows, if they know me personally in the real world, they already know exactly how I feel about something like this. And most of the people, everybody that watches, all these subscribers, if you've watched, a few of my videos, I would hope that everybody could pretty much, without guessing too hard, would all know exactly what my sentiments on something like this would be. It's almost ridiculous that I feel that unless I totally misrepresent myself, I think it's almost ridiculous that I would need, excuse me, to make a video and actually come out and specifically say, anything about this. But it's par for the course. Am I surprised? No, not surprised. Very little surprises me nowadays anyway, world we live in. But that kind of attitude is out there. And first, let's get this straight. I'm not trying to talk, badly, speak badly about anybody. Okay? I believe, you can believe whatever you want to believe. You're free to do that. I believe that wholeheartedly. You have the right to do that. There are people that are going to believe things that you completely disagree with. But you still have to understand, they have I would say you have to respect, but you can't really respect everything along those lines, but you have to understand that just like you have the right to your opinions and your beliefs, so do they. Now, it's when you step outside, cross the line, and it becomes physically invasive to another person's way of life or quality of life, that's when it becomes, it's illegal. But as far as if you want to specifically dislike any group of people based on anything, because they're, different skin tone than you, because they a different sexual orientation than you, because they like different kind of food and they drive a different color car than you, it doesn't matter why, okay? A lot of mental illness in this country, in the USA today, running rampant. And notwithstanding that, there's a lot of racism. There's a lot of racism in this country, and probably the world over. There's a lot of it, and so basically, just for somebody to, the tape that I heard. Yeah, that's a racist speaking those words. Sorry. I understand the guy that said it, his position. He's going to defend himself tooth and nail. He doesn't really mean to offend anybody. And I don't think that he is, how can you say he's not a bad guy? But I would say that his intention, he doesn't really want to harm anybody. He doesn't really want to hurt anybody. But that's what he believes. It is still what he believes, and he doesn't make the connection or distinction that belief is harmful. In my opinion, is that belief's more harmful to him than anyone else. Do most people of color, do they care what his opinion is? I wouldn't. But that's indicative of more. That's not that doesn't stand all alone on its own, like just an island in the middle of a sea of normalcy, right? Of normalcy. There's more. You understand? There's things that go with that. Clearly. I mean, come on, people. It's 2017, for God's sake. Oh, you know what in the we're no longer. You're not really like so secluded and shut off from the rest of the population in the country that you're never going to be exposed to a person of color. So you're never going to have an opportunity as a fully grown and evolved person with a 3-pound brain to figure out the value in people, period. It's not like, you know, you're so isolated, you'll never have that opportunity, and so you're just going to believe things that were programmed into you or whatever, if that's the case. Because there comes a point, you may grow up and have no interaction with anyone with a different skin tone, or anyone even looks different than you. And you can hear whatever, you know, all kind of bullshit. Maybe you're around that, submersed in it. But you're not going to make the leap to reality from that until you actually go out into the world and experience other people firsthand. Then you're going to make your own decision based on those experiences, and you're going to find out that people are people. You have good and bad in every crowd. Yeah. As far as people saying, well, it was in a fit of anger, you know, when you're in anger, I mean, you might black out and say things you don't mean. No, that's not true. I'm very sorry, but that's just an immature or a person that has not allowed themselves to expand and completely evolve into an adult that that would even state a cop-out like that. I don't. What usually happens is when you get angry, you lose that control mechanism, or it fades, and you actually express the truer, purer version of yourself. Think about it. If I lose it with somebody, and I have a negative opinion of that person, but I don't like that I have that negative opinion, that I'm judgmental, and so I don't want to hurt that person, so I try to handle them with little kid gloves and be kind of civil. And if I lose it and throw something up to that person that's been festering or that's within me, it's because it's in there. It's because it's in there. It's not because I don't know what I'm saying. It's just because you get that angry, some people do, and whatever it is that tempers, holds down, you know, what they verbalize and put out, right? They keep it inside, but it's still in there. It's in there. And then when they get angry and they lose it or whatever, then that control mechanism is weakened or gone in some cases. And then they just, everything they have to say pours out. And shit like this, it comes from, you know, a deficit inside of the person. Some kind of subjective feelings of that they're insufficient, that they don't measure up, that they're not confident, you know, whatever. As far as being 10 years ago, come on, man, we know it wasn't 10 years ago. But it doesn't make any difference. You were a grown adult 10 years ago anyway. But that's all I got to say about it. My opinion on it, it doesn't mean anything. My opinion on it counts for nothing. You know, you're free to make any decision that you want to decide and believe whatever you want to believe and like who you want to like and dislike who you want to like. You know, you want to dislike somebody, go ahead and dislike them. You're free to do that. I think that it's better off if everybody knows who they're dealing with. You know, now, do I think that this is going to be some kind of silver bullet, you know, and kill off his career or cause him great harm? Nope. It'll just be a blip on the radar, insignificant. I know that sounds cruel, but insignificant. People will find a way to rationalize it, and it's not going to make any difference. Won't matter. And I'll tell you why it won't matter, because nobody equates what they see on YouTube to reality, because in most cases it isn't. Most of the time what you're seeing is a produced caricature. You are seeing a completely created fictional caricature of another person, but it's something that they've designed and intended for you to see, and it has a purpose to sell whatever, to portray whatever, and that's basically what it's about, man. It's all fiction from Jump Street, the whole thing. It's a marketable product of fiction, and people buy into it. It's like watching a male soap opera, and so that's their favorite character, and the caricature, Rich Piana, isn't going to suffer anything over this. The real man, Rich Piana, people don't even know. They don't know him, You know the caricature. And people love the caricature. So it's just like, it's a work of fiction. It's not real, but it's fun to enjoy. And so they're going to go ahead and they're going to continue to support and watch and whatever. And we're all going to this is just going to go blow right over. But like I said, anybody knows me, man. The circles that I hang with, who my friends are pretty much. If you know me in real life, see, I exist in real life. What you see on here, some of us are real. But, well, I don't know. I could say a lot more, but it's not really my place to, and it's not my purpose to, and it's all just my opinion anyway. So it's my opinion. I have friends that are all shades from all over the world. And I'm going to be quite frank with you. If you live a sheltered life, and we're not, like I said, you're not really going to be sheltered, but if you live a life that you've chosen to stay in a little teeny circle and you don't really venture out of that, open up, man. You don't know what you're missing. Venture out. If you've had a bad experience with somebody who looks different than you, well, there might be somebody that looks different than you out there who's an awesome person that you may hit it off with very well and develop a very meaningful friendship. And maybe they've had a bad experience with somebody that looks like you. But if they're still going to give you a chance, they're still going to be open to the world, then you should do the same. So what you might be missing out on. You're cheating yourself. You're cheating society at large. It's what you could do together. We have a shortage of really good, decent human beings nowadays. Especially good, decent human beings who will practice decency with pride. And we can't, this is 2017. We don't have the luxury that we have so many great, wonderful people out there that, there's plenty of great people, but especially today. Like I've said before, it's the bad people that get all the press, and it gets worse and worse. And it seems to me society is just folding in upon itself. Maybe not in my lifetime, but if we stay on the path we're on, it looks pretty bleak to me. Maybe I'm an alarmist and extremist, but I don't think that we have the luxury to decide to write off an entire class of any human beings, just on face value or our misconceptions or the shit that makes us most comfortable to believe. I think we need to really open up, get in touch with reality, and understand that there are shitty people, and they come in every size and color and from all over the world. So when you find really good people, the last thing that occurs to me is the color of their skin. And you can think what you want to think, but that's the God's honest truth. I have friends from all over the world, and I like that. Personally, I dig that because it's more interesting. Because I've looked like this, this skin tone, my whole life. Yeah, I get a little tanner. I can get a good tan on sometimes, but nonetheless, I enjoy especially meeting people from really far away that grew up, friends that I have that grew up in like Nepal and places like that, right? They have a whole different culture. They eat different food. They have a different base of knowledge, different experiences. That's all awesome, man. That's all awesome. So I have very good friends that are from all over the place. I'm not a guy that, color. That's, people may want to make it into a huge issue. And look, if you have pride in your skin tone, I don't deny anybody that. You go ahead and have pride in that. You got to have something when the world tries to take a lot away from you anyway. I mean, you got to. But ultimately, let's just have pride in being good, decent people, man. What the hell is wrong with that in this day and age? Just good, decent people. And like I said, I have friends that are in what you call interracial relationships, which I don't understand exactly how they come up with this terminology. We're all part of the human race. So I don't even, it's a misnomer. Interracial, that would almost be like you were in a relationship with a different, not a human, another race, like an alien or I don't know what. So, but that's what they call it. And I have friends that are, one person in the relationship is a different color than the other person, and it's not it's just, I don't know. Anyway, that's it. There's not much intelligently to say on the topic that hasn't already been said. What the hell can you say about it? It's so far out there. But like I said, this isn't going to do him any harm. You're still gonna have the same entertainment value. His audience is still gonna be there to enjoy, all the stuff that he brings to the table and to his videos as Rich Piana, the caricature that you're used to seeing. I don't imagine that you're going to see him talking much about, I don't think now that he's out of the closet, so to speak, he's going to start, rolling that into his caricature regularly. But anyway, I don't know. The only reason I made this damn video is because, my friend, Mac Truck, made a video, and he was wondering why other, people of color that have larger audiences on YouTube haven't chimed in, and he wondered if silence was some way acquiescing and pretty much giving the nod to this behavior, or signified a lack of opinion. And so, just out of respect for my friend and whoever else might hold that opinion, even though I'm not a person of color, I guess. I don't know. What color am I? I don't know. But it's still just, that's what I think about it. Because it would really, I'm a person who feels a lot of shit. But like I've said many times, don't mistake kindness for weakness. But I'm a person, I don't think that's a weakness. The ability to be able to feel. But I feel a lot of stuff, and it would really hurt me. It would hurt me for me to think that any of my friends would see that I hadn't made a video on the topic. I don't know why I'm obligated to make a video on it. Like I said, I think it's a waste of time, and it's beneath, consideration to even make a video on it, but here I am. But it would harm me, it would hurt me to feel that any of them, even in silence, thought for one moment that I didn't completely find it revolting and disgusting. But then they must not know me very well. Anyway, that's it. So, I don't have anything more to say about this. Everybody already knows how I feel about it. And you know what's right. You know what's right. I mean, but even when you know what's right, you can't help but feel what you feel. And if you feel that, we don't have much in common beyond that, because that's indicative of more. If you haven't graduated to that level of your time on the planet yet, that you don't know, your reality isn't a little more grounded, you don't know better, come on, man. All right, that's it. Take care. Have a great day.